Hi guys, your assignment for Thursday, September 17th is to look at, after you've done the Are You a Nonconformist, there is an assignment called Memoirs and Memories. And so I wanted to go over that with you. And what you're going to do is there are 5 questions. And the first question is, what is your first memory? And I've asked you to don't just tell me what your first memory is, but to show me, which means including details. So if you remember my story, the rock fort story, I had details in that. And so I want details, right? So an example, like my first memory is when my brother was born. He's 3.5 years younger than I am. And I remember that someone was holding me. I believe it was my grandma was holding me outside of the maternity ward where the babies were in their bassinets. Like there's this big window and you could see all the babies that had just been born. And so my grandma had taken me, so I was 3.5, and she had taken me to go see my brother. And we were standing there and she was pointing out who he was and everything. And I remember there were 2 ladies next to us and they pointed at my brother and they were like, "Oh, I think that's so-and-so's baby." And it was my brother. That was not so-and-so's baby. And I remember saying to them, "That is not so-and-so's baby, that's my brother." And so that is my first memory. And so, there's detail in there. You can kind of picture it. And so that's what I'm looking for. The next one, number 2, is what is a memory you and your siblings or you and your parents remember differently, and why do you think that is? And so the purpose of me asking you these questions is because this book that we're getting ready to start, The Glass Castle, is a memoir. And the author has siblings, and she has said that her siblings tend to remember some of the instances differently from her, and so do her parents. And it's all about age, right? And perspective and how you saw the situation. And so one that my brother and I remember completely different from my parents is when he was a senior in high school, he got 5 or 10 days out of school suspension because he had alcohol in his car at a football game. And so he got OSS. But my parents, so it was him and his friends. So him and his friends are out of school for 5 or 10 days. Well, then my parents went to the lake, and I'm in college. My brother's home by himself. And so my parents left my brother home alone. Well, also all of his friends are home. And they went to the lake. So what do you think my brother and his friends do? And my parents swear they did not go to the lake while my brother was out of school being punished. And my brother and I are like, "Yeah, you did." And I think that they remember differently because they want to be like, "We were not bad parents. We stayed home and, punished you and whatever, but you didn't." So then number 3, I just want you to look up what is a memoir, because there's, an autobiography, a memoir, what's the difference? So give me what is a memoir? And then find out what are some characteristics of a memoir. And there are several. Just give me 3 characteristics of them. And then the 5th question is, how could reading about someone's life be interesting, especially of the life of someone who isn't famous? And so why would that be something that could be interesting to read? So that is your assignment for Memories and Memoirs.